Mountains of waste, waiting to be reborn through fire and pressure, stand silent before the transformation begins.
It begins with collection, as tons of raw material arrive daily to feed the insatiable machine.
A chaotic mix of history's leftovers, dumped for processing, bringing the past into the present.
Every piece tells a story of its former utility, now ready to be written anew.
Giant handlers take over, the gatekeepers of the process, sorting the chaos with mechanical precision. Powerful hydraulics grip the jagged metal with crushing force, claiming the load for processing. Moving tons of material requires precision and raw power, swinging the burden toward its destiny.
The journey to transformation begins on the intake line, where the flow never stops.
Check for sealed containers. Safety first.
Hazardous materials are removed before the shredding begins, preventing catastrophe down the line.
Technology assists in purifying the feed stream, ensuring only safe metal proceeds.
Inside, hammers spin at incredible speeds, ready to pulverize anything in their path.
In seconds, large structures are reduced to fist-sized fragments by the relentless kinetic energy. What remains is shred, clean, dense, and ready for separation, stripped of its former identity.
Magnets pull the iron from the waste stream, defying gravity to claim the valuable ferrous prize. Impurities are discarded, leaving only the pure iron ready for the next stage of fire.
The refined scrap travels to the melt shop, the fiery core where the true alchemy happens.
Here, we prepare the charge for the electric arc furnace, loading the vessel for the heat. Precision lifting carries tons of charge to the furnace deck, positioning the raw fuel for its fiery transformation.
Watch the load, coming through. Clear the area now.
The roof opens, and the furnace waits, hungry for the charge that will feed its fires.
Gravity feeds the beast, and the reaction is instantaneous, releasing a storm of fire and energy.
The lid is sealed tight, setting the stage for the electric arc to strike with blinding, raw power.
Powering up. Main breaker engaged, initiating the melt cycle.
Graphite electrodes descend to deliver massive electrical current, bridging the gap to the scrap.
Thousands of volts strike, creating a lightning storm within that liquefies steel in moments.
Temperatures rise to over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, shaking the very foundations of the plant. Solid iron surrenders to the heat, becoming liquid steel, a new state of matter for a new purpose.
Taking temperature and chemistry samples ensures the molten bath meets the strict standards required for high-grade structural steel.
Once melted and refined, the furnace tilts to tap, pouring its liquid heart into the ladle. A river of white-hot steel flows into the ladle, a transfer of energy that lights up the dark.
Here we fine-tune the alloy, adding strengthening elements to create the exact grade required. The ladle arrives at the ladle metallurgy furnace station.
Small amounts of alloys determine the steel's final strength, a recipe measured in parts per million.
In the mold, A solid skin forms around a liquid core, beginning the transition to solid shape. Water jets cool the strand, solidifying the liquid core into a continuous, glowing red spine.
Torches cut the continuous strand into manageable billets, severing the connection to the liquid source. These glowing logs are the raw stock for the rolling mill, waiting to be shaped. Before shaping, temperature must be equalized, ensuring the steel is soft enough to mold. The rolling mill applies immense pressure to shape the steel, shedding its oxidized skin explosively. With each pass, it gets longer, faster, and closer to its final structural form. Profile rollers carve the signature I shape into the beam, forcing the metal to conform. The final stands ensure precise dimensions for construction safety, honing the beam to perfection. On the cooling bed, the steel rests and strengthens, locking in its crystalline structure forever.
They march slowly, shedding heat, a mechanical army moving in perfect, rhythmic synchronization.
Saws cut the continuous lengths to customer specifications, revealing the clean silver heart within.
Flange width is within tolerance. Perfect profile, verified for structural integrity.
Bundled and strapped, the scrap has become structural integrity, ready for the heavy lifting. Ready to leave the factory, destined for the skyline, the steel enters the world. From rusted waste to the backbone of modern civilization, the inventory waits for construction.
Transported across the country to sites of growth, carrying the weight of future cities.
Rising to new heights, supporting our future, the steel takes its place in the sky. Securing the connection, solid as a rock, the cycle of utility is finally complete.
Infinite cycles, infinite potential. This is the power of recycling, building the world anew.
Tensile strength exceeds requirements, proving the science behind the safety of every structure we build.
Deep inside, the crystalline structure aligns for maximum durability, a hidden architecture of strength.
Your old bicycle could become the beam in a new hospital, continuing its service in a new form.
Even the impurities are repurposed, ensuring that nothing from the process is ever truly wasted. The byproducts find new life in road construction, paving the way for future journeys.
Advanced filtration ensures the air remains clean, capturing dust and returning it to the process. It takes the energy of a small city to run the arc, channeled through massive transformers.
Millions of gallons of water circulate to keep the equipment from melting, a vital closed loop. The straightener removes any curvature from cooling, ensuring the beam is true for construction. Every beam is stamped with its grade and origin, a permanent signature of quality.
Replacing the bearing housing requires skill and speed, keeping the line moving.
Steady burn tonight. Good slag foaming keeps the process efficient and the equipment safe.
Inside, the temperature remains constant. Inferno, a world separated from the night by walls of steel. Electrodes are consumed and replenished without stopping the furnace, a continuous feed of power. Heavy rail systems move the massive loads efficiently, the logistical arteries of the plant. Supersonic oxygen jets cut through the scrap, accelerating the melt with chemical ferocity.
The entire building breathes with the rhythm of the process, exhaling the heat and dust.
Watch your pinch points today. Let's go home safe to our families. Yeah.
Robotics handle the repetitive testing with zero margin for error, ensuring consistent data.
Weather means nothing. The hunger of the furnace is constant, regardless of the rain.
Moisture expands instantly, adding volatility to the melt, a powerful reminder of physics.
Foaming up the slag to bury the arc, burying the radiation to protect the walls.
Massive copper veins carry the lifeblood of the plant, pulsing with the energy of a city.
Billets wait in inventory, ready for specific rolling orders, a library of potential shapes.
Old stock must be awakened by heat once more, preparing the crystal lattice for deformation.
Soaking in the heat until the core reaches rolling temperature, a bath of pure energy.
High-pressure water blasts away the oxide skin, revealing the pristine surface for rolling.
Fire and water dance in the shaping process, a delicate balance of temperature and state. Imperfect ends are cropped and immediately returned to the melt, closing the loop instantly.
Matching speed on stand 4. Tension is good. The operator conducts the symphony of steel.
Thousands of PSI of hydraulic pressure drive the rollers, the invisible muscle behind the mill. Precision weighing ensures the customer gets exactly what they ordered, down to the pound.
That's not going anywhere. Ready to roll. The cargo is secured for the journey ahead.
Drive safe. See you next load.
From rebar to channels, the shapes vary, but the inherent strength remains constant across every diverse product application. Silent strength supporting the flow of our daily lives. Steel bridges connect us over obstacles with unyielding reliability.
Cycled steel building the infrastructure of renewable energy, turning the wind into power for a truly sustainable future.
In the end, it is a story of renewal, where nature and industry find a balance in resilience.
Behind the massive machinery stands human leadership, guiding the effort with pride and acknowledging the hard work done.
As the sun sets, the electric sun inside burns on, illuminating the night with the promise of production.